Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, all right. Hey, all right. What we're going to do today is we've got you're in the home stretch. We've got 4 hours. And what we've got is we've got about 6 hours worth of content. So what we're going to do is we're going to go quickly. I hope that's okay. But we're going to get questions answered, but we're going to go kind of quickly. I always like to start the second day by just kind of asking, what were your ahas yesterday? I mean, you had some time to kind of marinate on it last night. What'd you get? Yes, sir.
There's not really anything that new in this material, but you're helping us give it a different perspective and a different mindset.
Well, good. The main thing I want you to have is have hope.
Absolutely.
That's the main thing that I want you to get out of. Thank you very much. What else do you, after marinating on it last night? Marvin. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. What does that mean? Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. Come on, not everybody at once. Yes. You set the pace for your market center. If you want them to be red hot, you've got to be white hot. There you go. It's kind of, do you know the neat thing about that whole speed of the leader, speed of the pack? Who's in control? The leader's in control. That is so cool that sits there and say, I can go to work every single day, and what I can do is I can impact this in a really, really positive way. Really, I'd say, so it's not about the folks now, it's about what we do. Kind of gives you a little bit more sense of control, doesn't it? Now, when I'm talking control, I'm not saying, I'm in control. I'm just saying in control of our attitudes, in control of our energy, and those things. What else did we get? Yes?
If we set the tone and they believe that we believe, they will follow.
Yeah.
And they will attract others that will follow because everybody wants to be in a positive attitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great one. Any others? Allied resources. What about allied resources? Get in relationship with them. Absolutely. Those folks can tell you so many things that are going on. Super one. Allied resourcing can change your whole destiny in terms of recruiting. You're getting paid to have a great relationship with someone, and they're giving you information of some really key, talented folks. It's like legal industrial espionage. I think that's a great. I'm gonna give you credit, but I'm gonna borrow that from you. You are so my favorite right now. Now we've got to talk about just the favorite because I think what I've done is I've hurt some feelings and I apologize. But I just want to tell you, I don't know if you remember, as I said with the whole favorite thing, I said I'm fickle. So I just want you to know is that you are my favorite, but just the next moment might be my favorite again. Someone else might be my favorite. So, but you're all my favorites. Okay, we're over here.
With the allied resource setup, I think it's one of the biggest ahas is that you basically become a conduit for people to meet each other. So all you are is a middleman for meeting needs. Because you got, say, Joe over here has a need, and Paul over here you met, 3 weeks ago, and you've been building a relationship with Paul, and you're talking to Joe, and you're asking Joe about Joe's needs, and all of a sudden Joe's talking about something that you remember Paul has. And so you become a conduit. Law of reciprocity kicks in on both sides. And so now both are grateful for you in their life. Both want to reciprocate back to you with just one call. I think great. You are so my favorite right now. Great job. What I want you to understand is now think of all the other real estate managers that are your competition. Think of all those. Do you think that they're having those conversations with those allied resources? That high-level business conversation? Do you think so? Just by you having that conversation with them, how are you positioning yourself in the marketplace? You're a cut above. You are the leader. So now everybody sits there and says, "Man, you want to talk to so-and-so over at Keller Williams because they rock. Their thinking is just so different." Well, I don't know. What is that? What do you mean so different? I don't know. You should just talk to them.
Are we a good advertisement or a bad advertisement?
Are you a good advertisement, bad advertisement?
We actually have two target audiences. We have our recruits and we have our COI in the house for retainment. and a good advertisement sends a clear message.
You got it. With this, is recruiting different from retention? Is recruiting different from retention? I would say no. It's relationship building. It is relationship building all the way. Now, I've got to tell you, you're going, oh my gosh, I have 250 associates. How the heck am I ever going to have that? I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to think of it this way. Who gets your attention, team leaders? ALC gets your attention. So now what happens, I want you to think of this. If you've got that energy vampire that wants to come in and plug into you, and you drop everything, what have you just cultivated? Energy vampires. Your market center is going to be a market center filled with energy vampires. If you say to that energy vampire, you know what, I can't do that right now. What I've got is I've got some time here. I would love to talk with you then. We've got that. Could you maybe talk with so-and-so right now? What are you doing then? And by the way, there was a training class on that this morning, but they weren't in it. What happens then? What's that? You're staying focused. Does everybody see that behavior? Everybody sees that behavior. Now let's say that ALC member comes up to you and say, hey, I need you right now. And you say, you got it. Does everybody see that behavior? So what happens then? Who are they going to model themselves out? The energy vampire or the productive in-culture ALC member? What type of culture are you creating in your market center? The thing is, the room got funky there. The thing that you've got there, you as a leader just have to be strong to say, I believe in what I'm doing, and this is what I'm going to. It's not a matter of being nice or not being nice. It's a matter of saying, I believe, and I believe in the mission of where we're going and what we're building here, and these are the type of people that we need in this market center. Great. What? Anything else? Anything else from last night? Yes. From yesterday? Not from last night.
I'm reading the 21 laws, irrefutable laws.
Yeah.
And one of them says, I don't remember which, not to ask until you've earned the right.
Ooh.
So I really love the idea of bringing in your allied resources and showing them our lead generation model.
Yeah.
Because that will help them in their business to build their business before asking them for help in building ours.
I think that's so huge. I think, yeah. Absolutely. Great one. I think that's really key as a leader no matter what. Is that when you are spending time, remember what we said is we said, take Monday, take Wednesday, take Friday. Take an hour out of those days and meet with an ALC member. And make it all about them. Wherever they want to go with the conversation, let them run with it. Let them run. If you do that, you're listening to them. Are you earning the right to lead? Are you earning the right to lead? And what I want you to understand, we're going to talk a lot about relationship building recruiting today. And think about it. If we've earned the right there by listening to our ALC members, today what we're going to go into listening to the recruit, earning the right there too. Great job. You're my favorite. Okay. Yes.
I have heard about the concept of modeling for quite some time, and modeling just helps you get you where you need to go a lot quicker. But you said something yesterday that was a huge ha-ha that I never heard of. It was that you can model bad habits out. I went, wow. Not only, so you model the right thing to do, but when you find that you're doing something wrong, find the model to get out of it and make that better. That was a big ha-ha.
Great. You can always do that. I mean, the thing that I want everybody to do is sometimes what we do is we say, I should be doing this. I need to do this better. I don't want you doing any of that stuff. I really don't. Because that's just wasted energy. And team leaders, do you need energy? You need energy in this job. So I don't want you spending any time that's sitting there and saying, I'm not very good. I don't want that. What I want you to do is I want you to say, where do I need to go? What model do I need to tap into? How can I change this right now? Because yesterday's what? It's gone. It's in the rearview mirror. All we've got is going forward. Understand what happened there, but let's move forward. Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe? Okay, good. Yes?
I just had a quick comment. I'm Lisa Thorne. I'm going to be the team leader at the Marysville, Washington Market Center. And I was raised up in the Boise, Idaho Market Center.
Not a bad market center.
No, it was
Not
a
bad
nice
market center.
place to grow up.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I just wanted to share and just add is we keep talking about spending our time with our ALC. As our market centers grow, and it's something that Roy Van Winkle and I discussed last night, as team leaders, I think we should spend our time with our top 20%. Because when we get between 300 and 500 agents, our top 20% may not all be on our ALC. So I don't know if that...
What I wanted to say there is I want to respectfully disagree.
Okay.
What I want to do is I want people to see that there's a payoff to being on the ALC. There is a payoff. There is a, I want you to be loving and caring and nurturing to your top 20%. Did everybody hear that? Everybody heard that? I'm not saying shun your top 20. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there needs to be a special, and two more specials, relationship with your ALC that people see that and they want that. They want that. They want your time. They want your energy. Because here's the thing. I don't know about you, not you individually, you as universal you. One, I don't know if one has seen this. That's better. I don't know if one has seen with ALCs, but ALCs sometimes say, I just don't have time. I just don't have time to be on the ALC. I give so much. That hour and a half that I spend a month, it is really cutting into my schedule. This is now what happens when they see that they're getting you as the payoff and you're helping them have their business grow. We're going for that. Hey, could you pass the phone to Smokey, the microphone to Smokey just a little bit? Hey, Smokey, what you've been doing is you've been tracking your ALC's production, right? And you've been spending time with your ALC. How many people want to be on your ALC this next year?
Well, we have about 23 people that are going to be applying for the ALC. We have 110 agents in the market center right now. We had nobody that wanted to be on the ALC last year. It was something that it was fighting and begging and talking, but nobody wanted to be on the ALC when it started.
What's the production? With the people that have been on your ALC, are you able to scientifically, you track everything, team leaders? You track everything. I want you to always track everything. I want you to go back to your staff and say, we're going to track it all. We're going to track. So with your ALC, have you been able to say what they're if they've gone up or down in their volume or in their closed?
Yeah, absolutely. We've tracked their volume. We've tracked what they've done. We have also shown value in every ALC meeting of how being on ALC is the same as running a real estate business and a real estate team. The exact same things we're teaching them in terms of what we do with our entire real estate market center is the same skill set, same everything they can use when they're building their real estate team. It's just done on a little bit larger level. And so and I've learned you have to tell them. They don't just always get it. You have to tell them and show them and continually remind them of what the value of doing this is and how that correlates to their business. But yes, absolutely. The neat thing that we've had this year, our market's down 11%.
Market's down 11%.
The market's down 11%. But our average ALC, their business is up over 60%. We have ALC members whose business is up 280%, and we have ALC members whose business is up over 100%. We have, our largest producer, he's number one in the market area there. His business is up 10 to 12%. Excuse me. So
the market's down 11%, but the top producer's business is up 10%. So that is a 20% swing.
The worst person on our ALC business is the same. Everybody else is, as an average in the ALC, like I said, it's up 50 to 60% from being on ALC.
So now, team leaders, if you can talk about that in the ALC meeting, how many people do you think are going to want to be on your ALC? Everybody in the top 20% there. So what I'm saying is love on your top 20%, love on them, but you have the special relationship with your ALC. Now, what you do is you teach your ALC to help you with that top 20%. Because you want them to be that mouthpiece. If I can help you with anything, I want you to walk out of here, and I want you to write it big on your page. Learn to work through people. Learn to work through people. If you can work through people, your job is going to be so much easier. And the beautiful thing about it is you don't have to put it all on your shoulders and carry it. Are you with me? If you work this, if you master your ALC, and then they help master your 20%, and then that 20% helps master the 80%, man, what does your life look like? Is it going to happen overnight? No, it's not going to happen overnight, but you can work towards it. Great stuff. Yes?
Joe Barfield. I'm on the ALC from San Antonio. My team leader's leveraging through me while he's on vacation.
Thanks for the email. Were you the one that sent me the email last night?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks.
My pleasure.
You bet.
See,
I checked my email. Did everybody see that? Yeah. We called each other this morning. There we go. Yeah.
Thanks for breakfast.
Hey, no problem.
Hey, that tracking bit, I'm all for that. I think that's awesome to track the ALC, how many people have gone to FSO or signed up for family reunion or signed up for mega camp or whatever, or the ALC, how many people have profit sharing or a downline. If we could have that as a more report, then it's just data that just is. It's not like somebody's, being a detective on them. Is it possible to get a scorecard like we have for market centers, but for the ALC, so we just print it out?
You know what? I'll check on that. That's a really great idea. I think that's a great idea.
Some of it has to be handwritten, who's doing a 411 or whatever, but that would help things.
I think it's a great idea. Yes.
We have a spreadsheet on the team leader. Oh, hi, honey. How you doing? We have.
Atta girl, give it right back to him. That's what I'm talking about. There you go.
No, we have a spreadsheet on the team leader intranet for your ALC. It's an Excel file that your MCA or whoever's scripting your ALC meetings can just check the little boxes on and then print that little sucker out. It works great.
Exchange cards. We'll get that.
It's on the team leader intranet.
There we go.
Is it under
I don't know, but what we'll do is we'll get that out. Shannon, can we get that? We'll get that out today. Oh, by the way, the quotes. Let's give Shannon Musgrove a round of applause. Yeah! She got the quotes already on the Team Leader website. So the quotes that we opened up with, those are already there. So you've got that. Gosh, see, I mean to tell you, Gary, you ask and you get, my friend. Okay. Hey, any more ahas before we get going? What I want you to do is I want you to pull your cell phones out. And I want you to turn it to the off position, okay? I promise we're going to be taking more breaks today, okay? So if you turn those to the off position, that would be great. The other thing that I want you to do before we do is just go back just a little bit. Remember, we've got this shelf, okay? We've got this shelf, and what I want you to do is I want you to take all of your positive recruit experiences, I want you to put them on the shelf. I want you to take all of your negative recruit experiences, put them on the shelf. And what I want you to take down off the shelf, I want you to take the broccoli approach. Try it, okay? Try it. That's all I want you to do, is I just want you to try. I know that we have wonderful leaders in this room that are passionate. Broccoli first. Broccoli before passion. Sound good? Broccoli before passion. Just remember that. Broccoli before passion. Okay. Okay, all right. Any questions before we get started? Are you excited? Yeah, let's let them know. Are we excited? All right, we got the energy going. Okay. Carol, it's good to see you this morning. Okay, so now what we've got is we are going to go chapter 3, and in chapter 3, this is on page 44. Page 44. And what we're going to do is we are going to go, it's all about thinking conversation, not presentation. Thinking conversation rather than presentation. Remember what we're doing is we're earning the right to lead by listening. Thinking conversation rather than presentation. We're going to talk about building the relationship. We're going to talk about the needs analysis. Needs analysis is the number one thing. Oh, I wanted to do this. How many, show of hands, and everybody looking around. Okay, this is one where we can all look at each other with the show of hands. Show of hands, how many of you were real estate agents before you became team leaders? Interesting. Let's see if we've got some stuff in here. Your presentation, handling objections, we're going to go over. Always building the relationship, but knowing when to close. Follow up, and we're going to end up by some chapter ahas. Sound good? Okay. want you to understand with building the relationship is I want you to go into when you're meeting a recruit at any level, sometimes we go, okay, I've got my presentation for the new agent, and I've got my presentation with the mega. Well, I want you to think about something else. I want you to think about getting to know. I want you to just look at two goals, and those two goals is first, get to know the prospective recruit. Really get to know them. How are you going to get to know them? Asking questions. And even before we ask questions, what are we going to do? First, listen. And if there's a need to ask a question, then ask the question. Does everybody get that? Because sometimes if you just say, hey, I'd like to get to know you, sometimes you know what people do? They run with it. So let them go. Just let that go. Because if we're listening to them, they're going to go, wow, this person's just really listening to me, and I've just wanted to talk for the last 3 years of my life. No one's really ever listened to me. I really like this person. By the way, do people, if they don't like you, do they come to you? I just want you to understand that. They got to like you. So if they're just talking, you're just talking. By the way, if they're talking, do you think they're going to tell you everything that you need to know? Chances are, I mean, if you've got that person that say, I'd like to get to know you, and they take that ball and run with it, chances are they're going to tell you everything you need to know. Are you with me? That's one that you're just going to sit back and enjoy the ride. Have fun with it. And the other thing is to answer everything the prospective wants to know about Keller Williams. Did you hear that? Everything they want to know. Everything they want to know. Not everything that we've got. There's a lot on that webpage, man. We're going to spend probably about 4 hours on this webpage in our recruit appointment. No. Everything they want to know. So your goals is to get to know the perspective, and the other one is to answer the questions that they want to know about Keller Williams. Who's in control? If you use that approach, who's in control? You're in control. Who feels like they're in control? See that dynamic? Are you with me? Think about it. When you're in a position and someone has control over you and it's a brand new relationship, how good is that feeling? When it's a brand new relationship and someone's letting you know that you're in control of the relationship, that they're in control of the relationship, how warm fuzzy is that? It's kind of cold prickly, right? So what you want to do is you want to create that warm feeling, that safe place. And so what you do is you say, hey, I basically have two goals today. One is to get to know you. I'm going to give you a script. I've basically got two goals today. One is to get to know you, and the other one is to answer all of the questions that you have about Keller Williams. That's my goal today. How threatening is that? If I said that to you, would you be threatened? No, what would you be thinking? Yeah? The energy got weird. What happened? We're riding? Okay, good. To that. I just want you to understand with this approach, I want to know everything that I can. Shannon, I want to get to know you. And Shannon, in our time together today, I know that your time is so important. So basically, I just want to answer all the questions that you have about Keller Williams. Okay? Does that sound fair? Okay. Now the other thing that you do, remember that listening? People don't care about how much you know. Sometimes what we do as team leaders when we're going into the recruit appointment, someone said it over here, we get kind of worked up. We get kind of worked up about the recruiting appointment. Oh gosh, I've got a recruiting appointment. You know, with those things, and we get kind of worked up about it. People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay? They're not coming in there and sitting there and saying, well, I want you to know how much you know about the web page. They're not thinking about that. What they're thinking about, they're a little nervous too. It's kind of out of the box. They're sitting there saying, oh, what if my broker finds out that I'm here? What if someone sees me? You know, so they've got their own little nervousness going on. So we've got our little nervousness. Let's understand that. And so what we do is we create a safe place. Is this making sense? So they don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And if you are being very sympathetic and empathetic, and you're saying, basically, I've got two goals, they're sitting there. You watch their shoulders, and their shoulders just go like this. You watch that body language, and they go, whoa. You mean, Keller Williams, you're not going to put a bag over my head and pull me over to the market center? No, not today. So what I want you, hey, Gary, could I have, would it be all right, I do this because you have great theatrics. Could I have you read that little box there about that cute little Madison Offenhauser?
Sure thing.
Thanks, buddy.
And good morning.
Good morning. You look great.
You as well.
Thank you very much. You're my favorite right now.
Hey, you're my favorite.
Okay. Just hold me. I'm kind of nervous up here. Okay,
okay,
back
stop.
to you.
Okay. The energy just got weird in the room.
Back to you, Gary. That was good.
Okay. There's a thing that occurs when you start doing your lead generation consistently, says Madison Offenhauser, Regional Director for Los Angeles Westside and Coastal. When he started as team leader in Beverly Hills, Madison blocked his time and lead generated for recruits for 60 days. I'm not going to lie. The first 2 months were hard because I didn't see the results. However, after about 60 days, those I'd left messages for started calling back, and it started transitioning from cold calling to warm calling and became more about starting a relationship with them. Madison emphasizes your mindset should be relationship building because you never know where the relationship may lead. He gives one example. There's this gentleman at Sotheby's in Beverly Hills I've been in conversation with for 2 years. He's always had an excuse for why he doesn't come to the company, but he sent me 12 people. And now he's talking about finally making the move to Keller Williams. But I told him he's more valuable to me at Sotheby's.
Let's give Gary a round of applause. Great job. What'd you get? What's your aha there? It's about relationships. Folks, I know that what you've got is that you've got, you're sitting there, you got to make the appointments. You got to make the appointments. Well, I want you to change that in your head and then you sit there and say, it's all about the relationship. It's all about the relationship. It's all about the relationship. You can have more relationship than just one. You can. What I suggest that you do is make sure that you have a great database. Make sure that you have a great database. Whether it's ACT, whether it's ProManage, whatever you've got, there's great tools out there that basically what you do is you are tracking that relationship. And every time you hang up on the phone, just make a little note. Make a little note what you talked about. Set the call for less than 3 weeks. Call them back. And every day, your pop-ups say, okay, you've got 5 calls today. Tomorrow you may have 22, depending on where you stacked your calls. Are you with me to those things? So then what you've got is that now it's really neat. You've got your prospecting time. You don't have to worry about it. That your cute little computer just picks up and says, you have 6 calls today. Now you know that tomorrow you may have 15 calls today. But it's okay because what you're doing is you're spacing them out. Because what you're doing is the calls aren't driven by how many calls you need to make. The calls are when you slated, say, I started this relationship less than 3 weeks ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out probably about 18 days. I'm going to plop it right in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them. Why every 3 weeks? Why every 3 weeks, folks? 33 touch. 33 touch. You know those experts at Harvard and Stanford and Yale, the smart people? What they say is every 3 weeks, if we touch people every 3 weeks, less than every 3 weeks, we're going to capture their market position in their brain. By the way, do you think that their manager is touching them every 3 weeks? They're going to start to say, I have more of a relationship with you than I do with my own manager. Can you see how that's going to be working for you over time? Now, here's the neat thing. Remember we talked about retention with our staff? What should we be doing with our agents every 3 weeks? Touching them. But now what we've got is we've got leverage. We've got leverage, and so what we need to do is we need that staff to be making sure that we're leveraging that out also. Okay? Once you put into systems, if we don't look at a system, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? But if you put in systems, it's going to work great. And actually, you're going to feel in control. And what you're going to do, you're not going to have those. I know you guys probably don't do it as only just probably me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh my gosh, but then I'd have my spiral right by my bed, and then I'd go, okay, wait, I can go back to sleep. But if you systematize, you don't have to have those moments. I know I was the only one that had those moments. Okay, so now what we've got is now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the needs analysis. And what I want you to do is with the needs analysis what is a needs analysis? A needs analysis is a series of questions designed to better understand a recruit's wants and needs. Are you with me? It identifies their hot buttons. It's an integral part of building the relationship. Integral part of building the relationship. Can you build a relationship? Question for you. Can you build a relationship without a needs analysis? You can. Someone up front said you can build a superficial relationship. But if we're talking that 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, we're talking about earning the right to lead. We've got to do what? We've got to listen. We've got to understand who this person is in front of us. And what we've got to do is we've got to do everything in our power to help them win. Are you with me? Pretty cool. What do you do for a living? I help people win. Well, what does that mean? I help them get what they want. Wow. Team leaders, are you with me? That's your job. You help people get what they want. If you help people get what they want, you never have to worry about what you want. It's going to come to you. It's going to come to you. When you ask the question, then listen. Are you with me? You know, have you ever been in those conversations where you see the person thinking about the next thing that they're going to want to say while you're talking? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be into the question. It's the listening that's really the intent. That's what's going to get people. That's what's really going to draw people in is by your listening. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. Are you with me? Sometimes when you see me, you sit there, you know, there's been a couple people that say, man, John's got a lot of energy. Boy, he's got a lot of energy. Boy, I bet you when he goes into a recruit appointment, I bet you he just talks and talks and talks. I love recruiting. You know why? I don't have to say anything. I can just listen. Are you with me? It's not about a show. It's about listening. Is this making sense? Yeah? Feedback? Is this resonating? Or are you going, oh, yeah, I've heard this before? Is this resonating? Yeah, are you just saying that because you think I'm the instructor? Okay, they're good. Good. Honesty is a great approach. Okay, be flexible. Be flexible in this. You got to have fun. If you're so rigid, I think when I was a new real estate agent, there was this guy. I started out here in Austin, and there's this guy, and I love him to death. And for those of you who know the AVA on Vector 5, he's like a 1 asterisk on the Vector 5. So I mean, whatever he thinks just comes out. And I was sitting there in the workroom one time, and I was sitting there, and I was like listening to him, and he did about $8 million. So this is probably 1992, 1991, and he did $8 million in Austin, and that was a really good amount. And I'm like thinking to myself, if he can do this, I can really do this. And so I said, hey, listen, what I'll do is I'll be your assistant. I'm going to be your assistant. I'll carry your papers. I'll do whatever, but I want to go on a listing presentation with you. I'll just be there. I'll be quiet. I won't say a word. I'll hand you the papers, whatever you want me to do. I'll carry your bag, whatever you want me to do. And so we went into the presentation, and the seller asked the question. And he was in his presentation, and he said, not right now. And he went on with his presentation. And then what happens is the wife asked the question. She says, not right now. And he went on with his presentation. And so I want you to know your presentation, and he did $8 million, at the time. So, I mean, he was doing well. I was going, what could you do if you got flexible? Be flexible. Are you with me? Be flexible. Let the conversation go where the conversation goes. Okay? Because think about it. Who's going to take care of their real estate career if they get in a jam? And they're with you. Who's going to be taking care of them? Not everybody at once. You are. Right? So if they can talk and they can build that relationship, do they going to sit there and say, this person understands me? This person I know if I'm in a jam, this person's going to be there for me. Are you with me? Okay. So really think that. And you know what? Just have fun. Have fun with this person. Remember we talked about the stuff yesterday. Remember, number 6? We talked about all the stuff. Well, I want you to sit there and say, this is your hour and a half Calgon moment for you to get away from the stuff. Okay? Guys, it's okay. Just go with the Calgon. So what happens is it's your moment. It's your moment to get away from it. It's your moment just to be present with that person. You don't have to worry about that contract blowing up. You don't have to worry about that. You're right there. You're right there for that person. It actually energizes you. If you listen. If you're doing all the talking, it's going to be exhausting. If you're listening, they're going to love you, and you're going to get, and you're going to actually it's going to recharge you. Is this making sense? We doing all right? Okay.
I have a tendency to lose control of the conversation completely. What happens is people love to tell me everything. So we get into everything, gets off their business, it gets into their personal life, and we're building a great relationship, but it really makes it hard to come back at the end and say, so when are you joining Keller Williams when we've not talked about business?
So then what you do is you go back to your 2 goals. I've got 2 goals. One is to get to know you. And now, so then what you do is you sit there, gosh, that sounds like you've got a lot going on. I can see why you're so successful in those sites. What I really want to respect your time, and I really want to get you to make sure that you're getting everything out of this. Are there any questions that you have for me? Because I really want to make sure I'm getting so much great information. I really feel I'm getting to know you. But what I really want you to do is I want you to walk out of here really feeling like you had a good download of information. Is there any questions that you have about us specifically?
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah, because I've become their counselor now.
Yeah.
For, the last year.
Yeah, team leaders, I got to tell you, there's a lot of counseling in it. There is a lot of counseling. There is a lot of counseling in it. Yes, sir.
You don't get paid.
What's that?
We don't get paid to counsel. What do you tell your OP when they say, how to go?
What's that? What I say when I'm my OP is I sit there. Okay, let's do this.
Did you get them? Did you get them?
Yeah.
Did you get them, John?
Let's do this. There's the initial relationship with the OP. And the OP says, did you get them? Did you get them? Did you close them? Did you close them? Okay, that's the initial relationship, okay? Does it sound like I've been there? Okay, so that's what we've got there. Okay, now, when you start using this relationship technique, remember Madison, about 60 days? About 60 days, everything starts to pop in about 60 days. Then all of a sudden, things start to happen. If you go back home and you do this relationship and they don't sign up, you go, John Davis, it didn't work. No. We're talking 60 days of doing this, okay, folks? We're talking 60 days. 60 days, then all of a sudden, when you go into your OP meeting, you sit there and say, by the way, this person's coming, this person's coming, this person's coming, this person's coming. Do you think they'll ever ask you, did you get them? Then what they do is they back off. Okay? Who's in control of the OP team leader relationship? That's a great question. Who's in control of that? Team leader is. What's that? They're good. You're good. Absolutely. What happens is that you get results. You're never going to have your OP ask you questions. Are you with me? You're 100% in control of that relationship. I want everybody to know that. Yes.
I just want to say what you were saying, building up 60 days.
Yeah.
I became a team leader July 9 of 2007.
Yeah.
And for 60, first of all, of course, I built up my relationship with my ALC. That was my key, my goal.
Yeah.
But then I started to make the calls. But in the beginning, there were more cold calls than warm calls, and then they became more warm calls. Okay. I didn't recruit anyone, of course, for the first 60 days. But since the last week of August until today, I recruited 14 agents, and out of the 14, the 5 cappers. So And
what's your cap? What's your cap? What's your cap? The dollar amount.
$18,000 to the market center.
There we go.
I brought in already $124,000 to my market center. And the thing is, believe it or not, I don't even know yet the whole scripts. I just go, I make the calls, and I build out the relationship. I had just, very quickly, I had this mega couple, because I'm very proud of it. I had this mega couple, they've been trying to get to the market center since we opened over 2 years ago, and we couldn't get him in. I made this call, and I just let her go on and talk, and she kept me on the phone for 25 minutes, and she was just talking. I don't even remember what I said, but it were 2 or 3 words. The meantime, she's taking in our market center right now. She's not in yet, but she's taking the 36-12-3 class, and all because I just listen. I say 2-3 words, and she's in.
Round of applause. All right. But did you hear what she said? She didn't get the results at the very beginning. The calls became warm. They were cold. They became warm after a while. So just be thinking that. Hey, I want you to understand. Okay. High vector 2s, high I personalities. We have a ton of that behavioral style in this room. And you know what? You're wonderful. You are absolutely wonderful. That whole cult of the D, we're so through with that. So I just want you to know. So I want you to know is that we've got a whole bunch of great high vector 2. By the way, high vector 1's great too. We've got some great high vector 2. High I behavior in this room. And I want you to understand your behavior. Our behavior. And what that is that what happens is when we get nervous, high vector 2s, high I personalities, what do we start doing? Do you know I'm doing this? This is 2 mouths. We have 2 mouths when we get nervous. We don't have 2 ears. We have 2 mouths. High vector 2s, high I's. And so what happens there is that, are we a little nervous when we're going into this? Yeah, we want to make a great first impression. So what I want you to do is understand your behavior. Understand it, because once we understand it, then we can do something about it. Are you with me? So when you sit there, if you're a high vector 2, just say, I get a little nervous, and sometimes when I get nervous, I start talking. And so when you go into that, you've got that in the forefront of your mind, and you go, I'm talking too much. Pull it back. Okay? What we've got to understand is that we have Grandpa said to me when I was young, he said, John, I've never learned anything by talking a lot. I've never learned anything by talking a lot. So understand, and God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So what I want us to do as team leaders, I want us to do at least 100% more listening than we do talking. Okay? If you can pull those things in, if you can remember those things, your recruiting, your conversion rate on your recruiting, it's going to be amazing how you convert people. The room got funky. What happened? What's that? Well, I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't talk. I'm saying don't jabber. Don't speak and speak and speak and speak to where you lose. Speak concisely. Nail it. Speak to what they want, to what they're talking about, and they're going to go, they are such a beautiful communicator. They're speaking. I don't want to hurt anybody. We'll hug. Okay, so that's what we've got. Don't get nervous. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. What we've got here is that we've got some on page 47. Here's some questions. Some questions that you've got. And what we've got is that the question, I like question number 2. What did you do prior to getting into real estate? Because what that's going to do is that's going to help me understand who they are. 11 is a great, just out of curiosity, what does a perfect office environment look like for you? So many managers, when they go in and they're looking around, so many managers are telling them what their office is looking like, what their office is about. They don't ask what they're looking for. Where do you want to take your business? Where do you want to take your business in the next year? Where do you want to take your business in the next 3 years? Okay, think about it. Do you think that your competition is asking these type of questions? Your competition is selling them. Hey, we got these great flyers, and you don't even have to pay for them. I mean, and you're really good. So you know what we're going to do is we're probably going to put you maybe on a 75-25. Maybe 80-20, but that's the conversation that your competition is having. This conversation is now what you're doing is you're getting people to think. Are you with me? You're getting them to think, and that's the most. When people are making change, you need to get them to start thinking. You don't need to sell them. Are you with me? Think at a listing presentation. Remember when we went to a listing presentation? Did we break into our marketing plan right off the bat, or did we ask them what they were looking for? We asked them what they were looking for. And 9 times out of 10, when we asked them what we were looking for, they signed that night. Okay? Yes?
I think that's a great point because as, team leaders, we get really focused in on the end result because we're result-oriented. You can't focus on the end result being, did they sign up? You have to focus on, I'm building a relationship with that person. And it's going to
What's your name?
I'm Vicki Dawson from Temecula.
Vicki, I got it. You are so my favorite right now. You are hitting it right on. It's not, you nailed it. It's not about the end result. Say, okay, I had the recruit presentation. Are they signing up? Boy, you're going to have so much frustration if you're
It's not going to be fun.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. This job is going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. But if you sit there and say, hey, I met someone really great, and I've got a really great relationship going with them, and you know what? I don't know where it's going to go, OP, but I'm enjoying the ride.
You're just planting those seeds because, like Madison said in his little speech, or his little thing on the last page, is you do it enough times, you get your presentation down, and then you don't have to think about the end result because you are building a relationship.
Great job. Great job. When we had breakfast today, super job.
Thank you.
You bet. We have one over here.
Hey, John.
Yeah. Hey, Evan.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Water's good.
Yeah, good. Recruiting is a process and not an event.
Bingo. Bingo.
That's really
Recruiting
what it
is a process, not an event. Recruiting is a process, not an event. Great job, Evan. Great job. Okay, so now I want to ask you what we can do is we'll do it. What we can do is you folks can do an exercise on a needs analysis, and I'm good with that. Or what we can do is we can watch me do a needs analysis with someone from the audience. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm cool with. Yeah? Good. All right. Do we have a volunteer? All right, come on up, Vicki. Here we go. Vicki, give her a round of applause. Yeah! Okay. Vicki, it was so good that we met this morning for breakfast. Today. Come on. Come on up here. There we go. Let me help you up there. There you go. Don't, my mother. Just make sure you tell my mother that. Okay. Let's just do this right here. So we're right there. We'll set that up. You look great on the lights, by the way. Can I get your water?
I'm fine, thank you.
There you go, just in case. Okay, now what we've got to do. Ooh, high five. Okay, now what we want to do, is it right if we have them help set it up?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, is she an experienced agent? Is she a new agent? What is she? Experienced agent. Mega. Okay, we're a mega. So what we've got is okay, is there any difference between a mega and a new agent? Is there any difference in your approach? Let's think about that. We'll kind of watch with that. So you're a mega. What's her production?
50 million.
50 million. There we go. We saw some behavior right there. She said, I'm going to define it right there. Good, vector 1. Okay, so what we've got. Okay, now did you just come? Okay, we'll do this. Did she just come in, or did we have someone that's been talking to her in our market center? I've called her. Okay, I got it. I'm going to set this up. Your quote with megas, I want to tell you, it's going to work better. I want you all to understand is that if you're wanting to cold call megas, I'm just going to be really honest. Do you want me to be really honest with you, or do you want me company? Do you want me to be honest or company? Okay, I've got to tell you, with megas, your best way to get megas is through your people or through an allied resource. I'm just going to tell you, you cold calling, I want you to cold call to turn them into warm calls, but I'm going to be really honest with you. They're probably going to go, Heisman. You know, they're going to sit there and they're going to say, hey, not going to happen. Are you with me? So I want to be really upfront with you. If you want to recruit megas at a high level, you've really got to leverage your people. And I got to tell you, I have not recruited one mega by myself. And I'm good. And I know that's something you're going, oh my God, his head is just blown up. No, I don't mean that. I got to tell you, it's the leverage. It's the leveraging. It's that tag team recruiting to that. So you know what we're going to do is someone in the office. Okay? It's not going to change anything. It's the same approach. But I wanted to have that coaching moment with that. Sound good? What's the person's name that's in the office?
Rachel.
Rachel. Okay. You guys ready? Okay. What's that? I don't know. I think we've got pretty much a high vector 1, high D personality.
Actually,
just basically from her personality that I'm seeing.
I'm an I with a trailing D.
There we go. Sounds good. Vicki, thank you so much. Do you mind if I grab a piece of paper here? Vicki, I got to tell you, I am so excited to talk with you. Who's the person that said this? Okay, Rachel, because I can't spell Rachel. Okay, I got to tell you, I'm so excited to visit with you because Rachel and I have been just talking about you for months and months, and I know you're super busy. So I just want you to know, I want you to just relax because I'm sure that probably sometimes when you hear about Keller Williams, you go, oh, at Keller Williams, they recruit. They're going to recruit. And I just want you to know, I'm not going to close you today. I've got too much respect for you. Rachel has an immense respect. And if Rachel has that much respect for you, I want you to know I have that much respect. You and I haven't met before, but I just want you to know that. So I just want you to just be able to relax because I'm not going to close you. I've got 2 goals today. One is to get to know you. Everything that you think I should know about you. And the other thing that is to answer all the questions that you have about Keller Williams. I'm not going to do any type of presentation for you because I've got too much respect for you. I want to really get to know what is it that you want to know, but most importantly, my main goal is to get to know you. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
And we can go in any direction that you want to go, so wherever you want to go, sounds good to me. You are 100% in control of this meeting.
Oh, good. I like that.
Good. It's your time, and so I just want to make sure that you get good stuff. So where do you want to go?
Well, I've been curious about Keller Williams for a couple of years now. I've seen you guys grow, and some, very well-known people in the area have joined your company. And do
you mind if I take notes, by the way?
No, that's fine.
Okay. No, by the way, these notes aren't going to go out. These are just so that what I can do is I can make sure that I'm tracking with you. So I just want to let you know that.
Oh, great. Well, I appreciate that.
You bet.
So I just am curious. I am going to tell you right up front, I have no intention of leaving the brokerage I'm with right now. I'm incredibly happy. They practically give me anything I want. And I'm just here out of maybe doing a little research and for my own peace of mind to find out what Keller Williams is all about.
Got it. So with that peace of mind, what would we need to cover today for you to walk out of here and say, boy, that was really worth my time, that it was a win for you? What would we need to cover?
Well, I'm real curious about your, retirement plan or 401k or something
profit
like
sharing.
that.
Our profit
okay. Yeah, I'm curious about that because I have heard some rumors about that, and your compensation plan because, of course, I'm in this to make money.
Sure. Now, with that, what I want to do is I want you to know we're going to answer these things, but I just always kind of want to fully develop that. With that, when you asked about the profit sharing, why right now is that something that you'd want to talk about?
Well, I'm sure you're aware there's been a shift in the market.
Yeah.
Duh. And, most brokerages don't offer any kind of avenue or venue for me to really think about my financial future. And I've had to, set that up on my own, and I don't want to be working for the rest of my life. And the rumors I've heard kind of say something that, this might be something that I can kind of have some control about my financial future.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Vicki, is that what we've got is that, according to the National Association of Realtors, is that they say 97% of realtors don't have anything set aside for retirement. I mean, 97. When I think of that number, it kind of makes me kind of stay awake at night.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
To that. Hey, and I don't want to get that. I really want to know about you, and if I'm asking too personal questions, just do that. But I just want to really make sure that I'm doing this. And by the way, all this information stays with me. I'm not going to go back to and talk to Rachel and say, oh, hey, she's.
Oh, that's okay. We're good friends.
Okay, good.
I don't mind.
But I just want you to. That's my commitment to you. With that, now, do you have anything set aside for retirement?
Yeah, I have a Roth,
Okay,
IRA
great.
and things like that. But there's just so many things I've heard about Keller Williams. I just am here to find out if it's all really true.
Okay. What if it is?
It's a pretty amazing company.
Pretty amazing company. Are you sure you'd want to stay where you were if it was all true? And I'm just having fun with you.
Well, that's why I'm here, to find out about Keller Williams.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, the other thing that you said is that the commissions. What about the commissions that kind of says, I'm intrigued about that. I want more information.
Well, I'm on a 90-10 split right now. I have my own private office. There's no cost to me to actually run my business other than my own marketing, and my broker actually helps me out with that. But I just always think, as a good business person, I should explore every opportunity out there. And even with me receiving 90% of my commission, I'm still paying 10% to my broker. And if I didn't have to pay that 10%, that would be a really great thing for me and for my family.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, with this, do you mind? And once again, this is a safe environment, and I keep repeating that because I want you to really understand. We can't build this market center the way we've built it is by going around and burning people. So
What's a market center?
A market center is our office. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
And it's a great job. If I go into lingo, just do that. You did great. High five. You did great. So if I go into lingo, just do that, because sometimes I get excited because I'm passionate. I really love what I do.
I can tell that.
So I just want, and the reason why I love it is because I love talking with talented people like you. No matter what happens today, I just want you to know I'm winning, and thank you very much. I want to make sure that you're winning with this. My question is with how long? You said 90-10. I mean, you've built a great career. How long do you think that you're probably going to be doing this? Or if in a perfect world, what would that? I mean, how much longer do you think you see yourself in sales?
I want to retire in 7 years.
In 7 years. Okay, great. So why that 7? You were very definite, and you came right back. What's that 7 years? What happens in 7 years?
That's my business plan, and in 7 years, that's when I want to retire, and I'm hopefully going to be able to sell my book of business to another, agent or brokerage or something like that.
That is, where did you get? I mean, I'm so impressed that you've got 7 years. You came right back.
I'm going to be 55. I figure I've got 25 years to live after that, so I want to have some fun.
Well, that sounds good. Well, I got to tell you, I'm having fun with you right now, so thank you. But with this, I'm impressed that you have a business plan. Where did you learn that?
From Craig Proctor.
Okay. Now, are you still working with his program?
No, actually, I'm a Mike Ferriite.
Oh, okay, great. Two good people. Great. How long did you work with the Proctor program?
I just did that for 2 years, and then I moved on to the Mike Ferry program.
Okay. And now, are you still in the Mike?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. How's that been working?
I love it.
Yeah. What is it that you love about it?
It's results oriented.
Results oriented. How important are results? Just curious. How important are results to you?
I live and die by the numbers.
Live and die by the numbers. Why are the numbers so important to you?
I can track my business. I know what my conversion rate is. It's, time is really important. We only have X number of hours in the day, and I want to be as productive as I possibly can be to the hours I commit to my business. So I need to stay on track and know exactly what I'm doing so that I don't get off track and that I take care of the most productive things in that time frame. I want to live a balanced life, and I don't want to be consumed by my work.
Now, that was one thing. You were kind of reading my mail there. What I was thinking with that balanced life, you said that, hey, you want to retire in 7 years, and
right.
You figure you got about 25 years after that.
Yeah, if I'm healthy.
I want you around longer than 25 years. But what are you going to do? What's your life going to look like after you retire?
I'm going to buy a yacht, and I'm going to sail around the world. And also, I am going to own a home in San Diego and grow my own vegetables and just basically relax, do paint, do all the things that I, don't have time to do now because I'm so entrenched in my business.
Now, do you do any gardening right now?
Absolutely.
Well, I love gardening. I'm not very good at it, but I've always really respected people that do. What is it? What with your garden? I know very little bit about it. What does it do for you?
It's very relaxing. It kind of grounds me. I feel connected back to the earth. It's nurturing because I get to watch things grow and blossom and bloom. It's very cyclical because we have seasons. It's just very relaxing to me.
Okay. So with that, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to do that. What we want to do is what we want to do is you want to hear about the profit sharing and the commissions. Is there anything else, kind of just before we get into it, is there anything else that we can think that you want to talk about?
Well, I always say you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting, and so I think training or education, I think you should always be improving yourself, and I'm open to training and education, and I'm sure there's more than one way to sell real estate, and I'd be interested in what Keller Williams has to say about that.
What I see here is that you're so learning based with the Proctor and with Mike Ferry with this, and now you're coming back. Can you tell me a little bit, did you have any other schooling or those type of things before you got into real estate? What was it that you were doing before then?
I was an elementary school teacher.
No kidding. I find that nurses and elementary school teachers make incredible. There's lots of reasons why you're so successful, but we see a strong correlation between nurses because they're caregivers.
Well, and clients really are kids in big bodies.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? You're looking at one, so I just want you to know. Absolutely. Okay, so what specifically about the training would you like me to cover?
Well, I struggle a little bit with, Mike Ferry actually says mastery of real estate is mastery of repetitious boredom. And if I'm not careful, I can get really bored in it, and the lead generation can fall by the wayside because unless I make it fun, I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? How many hours are you working right now?
Total hours a day, you mean?
Yeah, no, a week. If you had to take a week, how many in real estate? How many hours do you think you're working right now?
Probably about 30.
About 30. That's incredible. Good for you. With $50 million.
I have a team that helps me, so I'm pretty good at delegating.
That is incredible. Tell me about your team.
I have an admin person that takes care of all the paperwork issues, not to be confused with transaction issues, but paperwork issues. And then I have a transaction coordinator, a buyer's agent, and a listing specialist.
Wow, that is great. So now with those, what's something that's really, really working for you on your team? I mean, at 30 hours, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
Well, having someone to help with both the transaction paperwork and the admin paperwork has really helped me. I actually added those people this year. Until that time, I just had a buyer's agent and someone that kind of went out with me on listings a little bit to service my listings. But getting those admin people lined up has tremendously cleared my plate with what I would call the mundane activities you have to engage in with paperwork. So that really works for me. What isn't working for me is my buyer's agent just really can't close the leads I give her. And this is my third buyer's agent, so I guess I would like to learn, or maybe someone that would be interested in being my buyer's agent, because I
think we can talk about that.
Okay, I just don't seem to be able to get the right person in the right place. And that's very time-consuming interviewing, and every time I get somebody, I just have to start over, and of course I lose time and lose leads doing that.
Got it. Okay. All right. What are we getting so far? A lot of questions. Okay, is this forced at all? No. Conversational? How are you feeling right now? Other than the light's bright in your face and you're feeling with that. How are you feeling right now?
It was easy. I mean, it was easy. It was easy to open up to you and just share about who I am, what's important, where I want to go.
Now, it's okay. You guys can say yes or no or whatever you want to say. Did you feel that I was interrogating her? What was happening? Were we just kind of letting the conversation go where the conversation go? Was I looking for opportunities? Okay. Now what we're doing, is this the time to close her? This is not the, where are we in the process? This is needs analysis. Are you with me? This is the needs analysis. What I'm doing is I'm just finding out what her hot buttons are. I'm finding out what we should talk about and what we don't need to talk about. Was anybody taking notes as we were going along? Here's what I have. Here, number one is she wants to talk about profit sharing. So I'm going to talk to her about profit sharing. I've got that to talk to her about. The commissions. She wants to talk about the commissions, so I'm going to talk with her about the commissions. Okay, now what happens is after a little bit, those were her two that she came up with. Those were her only two, right? So what we could do if we stopped right there, what would be the only thing that is what we're talking about? Wham, bam, thank you very much, and we're out of here. But what we want to do is we want to slow the process down. We want to get the perspective talking. And so then all of a sudden training came out. She's a highly learning-based individual. She's got Craig Proctor, 2 years there, Mike Ferry. She tracks her numbers. She does an incredible job. How about balanced life? What's her main motivation in 7 years? Retirement. Okay. And then what does she want to do? She wants to sail. She wants a yacht. Are yachts expensive? Okay. We know that she's doing well on her money. Is now the time to say, how much are you netting? I mean, when you meet someone and someone says, how much money do you make? Like within the first 15 minutes, is that a warm fuzzy or is that a cold prickly? Cold prickly. Do you kind of look at that person and I said, when someone says like that to me, I just go, that's pretty rude.
None of your business.
Yeah, it's none of your business. You can say, are you netting as much as you want to, but you don't go to the money right off the bat. You don't do that. Remember where you are. Don't rush the process. So you're in the needs analysis. You're in the needs analysis. So the yacht, when we know that, she wants to. Prices in San Diego are still pretty high. Even with the shift, we've still got some pretty good pricey markets in there. Now, here's your opportunity. What does she want to do when she retires? When she's not sailing and when she's not hanging out in San Diego, what does she want to do? Gardening. Do you have an opportunity now to send her a gardening book from Barnes & Noble?
Absolutely.
You've got a follow-up right there. You can go spend $6 on a gardening book. Say, hey, I was in Barnes & Noble. I was thinking of you. I saw this. Boom.
You can even cut an article out of the newspaper, out of the gardening section. I saw this. It reminded me of you.
There you go. Do you think her manager has ever done that before? Chances are no. Do you think if she gets that book, and she doesn't come over, do you think that she's probably going to tell other people how cool you are?
Plus, I'm probably going to call and thank you, and then we get to have another conversation.
Are you with me? So this is the needs analysis. Now what we did is that we got into her team. First of all, she's doing great with her team. I mean, she's really on the good track. But what happens, you see, if you give them what's working really well for your team. Did you notice that question? What's working really well? Well, if you create that safe place, then they're going to come back. And did you hear what her say? She said, the buyer's agent, but I'm having trouble with my buyer's agent. If you start with what's not working for you with your team, the wall comes up. So if you say, what's working well for you, they're going to go on and on and on and on. And then what you've got is understanding behavior. You know the flip side's going to come out naturally without forcing it. They're going to sit there and say, yeah. And if you're connecting, they're going to sit there and say, yeah, but my buyer's agent, not so much. They're just not closing. Do you have an opportunity? What do you now? Now you've got the book opportunity. Now do you maybe have some scripts opportunity? There we go. See, now that's what I'm looking at right there. That was my aha. Good job. Is I'm sitting there and saying, now what I can do is I can get in relationship with her and say, I would love to do an AVA on behavior and be looking at this, and I would love to help you with your team and those type of things. And she's still over at XYZ Realty. I'm just building that relationship with her. Telephone, telefax, telerealtor. Telephone, telefax, telerealtor. She's going to talk to people. She's going to say, this was an incredible experience. Not this, meaning the AVA. Okay? Or did you feel comfortable?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Let's give Vicki a round of applause. Great job.